Good morning. I'm Debbie Little. I'm your practitioner for this morning. So welcome, and welcome for the people who are watching online this morning also. So I would ask you to look and see if your cell phones are off. You're welcome. And so this morning it's this meditation and the contemplation is a combination of music, words, and silence, where we can go deep into that silence and just be in this moment. So I invite you just to close your eyes and let the world fall away. This is your moment, the beginning of a new day. Let all thoughts of yesterday and this morning fall away into the silence. Let everything forthcoming just fade into the distance. You are here in this sacred moment. Let your breath be your anchor, your prayer, your energy. With each inhale, awaken to possibilities. And with each exhale, surrender the past. Let this moment feel like a warm embrace, because you are safe here. You are seen here, and you are supported here. Relax into this moment, into the silence with every inhale and exhale. So I ask a question. What mysteries await us? How do we start this? We can begin to accept and engage with the unknown as a spiritual practice. We can go within, and we do not have to seek definitive answers, because we live in the present moment, finding in everyday life experiences and recognizing interconnected reality beyond our ordinary understanding. We have to embrace the unknown trust in a higher power, in a higher intelligence, which will guide you. Follow the path of your breath and allow it to deepen more and more into this contemplation, into the silence, into the unknown that does not have to be understood. We do not have to search for the answers. Just breathe in and breathe out. We realize that our thoughts and our beliefs shape our reality. Sometimes it leads us into fear, and sometimes it leads us into doubt. Then we struggle between the good and the bad and the dualities of life. So in this moment, I ask that you just allow yourself to let that fade and to respond to this universal creative power. Just let go and let God. And know that this presence responds to you by saying, I am within you. Listen. Rely on your intuition, your faith, and your inner spirit. Don't try to control or fully comprehend. Just allow. Be with the moment, whether it is a challenge, whether it is a celebration. Just be with it, not to judge, not to name it, but just to be with it. So take this moment to comprehend, to contemplate, and just to relax and breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes we can fall into despair, feeling hopeless, feeling alone. But this is only an illusion to suffering, because the concept of separation is what we are doing when we separate from Source. And the realization is that you are forever united with it. It is at the very center of your being. We surrender and allow the great I Am to fill us with the promise that I am in the midst of you. I am forever with you. So in those moments of separation, where God is realized, God is in the midst of you, allowing love and peace to flow to the very center of who you are. Just pause in this moment, take this in, and relax. The great mystery has urged you on, and by some inner whispering of your soul, by the light upon your path, you have gone forward. The great I Am is the light that urges you, that whispers, that speaks as your voice. Awaken now. Acquaint yourself with your mind, with the truth. Deepen with inspiration and illumination. Nothing binds you to false beliefs. Lean into the mystery. You are free. Live each experience and absorb it into your soul. Just feel this moment, knowing that as you awaken to truth, you feel that aliveness within you, that presence of going forward, of accomplishment. So just breathe, relax, and breathe. I want you to know that you are the light that shines a path for others to follow, that you are the whisper of possibility. You are made of love. You are made of peace and of truth. You are the shining light with the presence of God within you, shining that light so others can feel that presence. Without saying a word, they feel that divine energy that flows out from you. And they stand and they feel and are embraced by your presence. So in this moment, living in this great mystery of life, we accept and we awaken to it, knowing that God is in the midst of you, and you are precious and you are loved. So right now, just take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale all the possibilities and exhale anything to surrender to this moment. As you slowly open your eyes and become present in this moment. Thank you for joining me this morning in this contemplation. Service will start at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Don't know when this change happened. It seemed like overnight. Now I'm rooted in the spirit. I'm rooted in the spirit. It happened without a fight. Something is new about me. I feel it with each breath. There's a majesty about me, a majesty about me. I feel it in my step. A new heaven and a new earth is what I I had a revelation one day. Had a revelation, yes. Fulfilling God's will. I had a revelation, yes. I am the life of God. Yes. Live as the grace of God. One day was I was in prayer. Yes, I
I was heading the wrong direction. In life, making all the wrong selections. I was blind to a world that I could not see. Some call it a normal. It's insanity. Something happened inside my head. A surge of a light pulled me from the dead. I stopped, and the spirit got a hold on me. Something turned me around. And if you wanna find me, tell me where I live. It's on higher, higher, higher ground. Oh yes, something turned me around. Something, yeah. Something turned me around. Turned me around. Something turned me around. Something. I tell you that something turned me around. I gave up mental contamination. I started building a spiritual foundation. The world all around me is falling down. And when it crumbled, I saw higher ground. Something happened inside me. I stepped into my true identity. I stopped, and the spirit got a hold on me. Something turned me around. Something turned me around. And if you wanna find me, tell you where I live. It's on higher, higher, higher ground. Oh yes, something turned me around. Tell you something, yes. Something turned me around. Turned me around. Something turned me around. Something. I tell you that something turned me around. We are placed on higher ground. You can hear the holy sound. Oh yes. You can feel God's presence all around in the universal sound. Om peace, Shanti, Shalom. Om peace, Shanti, Shalom. Hare Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya. Hare Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste, Namaste. Every day is Namaste. Glory, hallelujah. Something turned me around. Something. I tell you that something turned me around. Something turned me around. Tell you something, yes. Something turned me around. Turned me around. Feet are placed on higher ground. You can hear the holy sound. Oh yes. You can feel God's presence all around in the universal sound.
Well, good morning, Center for Spiritual Living. What a glorious day it is today, isn't it? Oh, I love getting up this morning and feeling like the air had been washed. It was just such a joy. I loved it. My little dogs, not so much. They don't like going out when it's wet. I'm like, okay, we got to figure this one out. But it's such a glorious day to be here, and I'm so happy to see so many faces around here that I know and love so dearly. And I want to say hi to everyone who's joining us online. If you'd turn and wave at the glass back there, the glass window. Joe's got the camera running up there, watching for our YouTube audience that's watching us each Sunday. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, it's a wonderful place to find all kinds of meditations, wonderful music from our music ministry, recaps of talks that we've given, and all kinds of wonderful things on there. If you're looking for a little midweek boost, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. You go to youtube.com, and then it's CSLGLV, our initials, media, CSLGLV media. But if you just search CSLGLV in the top there, you'll get it. It'll come right up to that. All right, we're going to kick it off with some music right now. We're singing Together We Rise.
Together we rise.
Together We Rise. If you'd like to rise, the words are going to be on the screen for you to sing along with us. Oh, and we have David today.
Yes,
Woo!
today, David.
Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. In times of struggle, we seek the Spirit of God within. Receptive to our calling, we love our neighbors and our friends. Relaxing in the knowing God's grace it never ends. We gather as one people and with joyful hearts we sing. Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. As we stay in gratitude, we let Spirit lead the way. Listening to the still small voice, it's always there to say. Trust in God with all your heart, the path ahead is clear. We unite together and there's nothing for us to fear. as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. Good morning, everybody. At this
Good
time, greet your
morning.
neighbor if you're comfortable doing so.
Our people are back, that's for sure. Yay, thank you. All right, we're going to shift our energy a little bit. I'm going to invite up our practitioner of the day, Debbie Little, to give us our invocation and affirmation. Debbie? And David will be up right after her.
Good morning, everyone. We can say this affirmation together. And it's by Karen Dumpy. I slow down and listen, for in the quiet I hear and feel grace like a cool breeze in the summer.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Let's sing now. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
As we open up this morning, coming together as a community, united as one, feeling this beautiful energy, this celebration, just the hugs and the smiles, feeling that energy flow through us, in us, around us, as us. We know that as we are still, that we know that the presence of God is within us, that we feel that peace as we breathe in and say, peace is where I am. So I celebrate this morning, knowing that the mystery of life is a beautiful experience every single day, that we open up and we allow God's presence to fill us with that light. And we are the examples. We are the way showers. So today is beautiful with the music and the words, spoken spirit speaking through Reverend Laura. So welcome to this moment. Just be still and know and allow and open up to this moment. And so it is.
Let's sing it now. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know. Lord, we come together now in one accord.
Thank you, David and Justin. That was a beautiful rendition of one of my favorite songs. Of course, I think everything you sing is one of my favorite songs, but I really like the way that song builds. I know there's a technical term for that, but I don't know what it is. But I like the way that kind of like, it just builds up. Gets me going. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So we are continuing with our theme for the month of March, Mystic Consciousness March. I keep blaming it on this thing. I started a new medicine and it gives me a brain fog. I've been off of it for 4 weeks now and the fog has not lifted, so there we go. November, we're in November here, thank you. So we are continuing our theme of mystic consciousness for the month of November, and we are talking today about living in the mystery. So this idea about living in the mystery is like, how do we actually open ourselves up to experiencing what David just sang about, this idea of one, altogether, one accord, one life, one people, one spirit, one entity. How do we bring that into our life? How do we actually begin to open up to that? Well, this month we've been talking a lot about letting go. This idea. Reverend Colleen started the month off with the idea of letting go through Michael Singer's work. I built upon it last week and last week. This is only the third week. Never mind. So, I built upon it last week about this idea of 100% of our spiritual growth is about letting things go. We come into this experience as a perfect being, absolutely perfect being. There is nothing that needs to be added to us, at all. But as we experience life, we start to accumulate things, right? They get added onto us whether we want them or not. Ideas about who we should be, how we should react in the world, what our possibilities are, what our family structure is. All of this stuff gets piled on top of us. And so to remember who we are spiritually, we got to let that stuff go. We have to get rid of it and allow that to be our experience of not being weighted down by all of these things that society and our experiences in life have put upon us. And so this is how we begin to open ourselves up to that greater possibility that's available to us. This idea of mystic consciousness requires one other thing. It requires not just letting go, but embracing what is available to us when we do let go. You know, it's easy to talk about letting go and thinking, okay, all I got to do is let all that stuff go. But what's going to fill it? And if I start to get nervous about what fills that space, then I'm afraid to let go. I was just having a conversation earlier with Kelly in my office about how we will hold on to things, even things that are awful. How many of you have ever been in a relationship that you really need to let go of? But it's so much easier just to stick with it and think, okay, well, whatever, I'll deal with this. Or job. How many of you have been in a job that you're like, well, it pays the bills, whatever. I don't feel any attachment to it. I'm not emotionally invested in it. It doesn't spark my creativity, whatever, but it pays the bills, so I'm just going to hold on to it because I don't know what's out there. This is what the mystics tell you about it. You can look at it in almost any kind of mystical experience. Any person who's what we would consider a mystic in the world is going to tell us something like this. Mystic consciousness begins when certainty ends. When we think we have to know what's going to happen next, we are afraid to step into that unknown. We're afraid to walk in a world where we can't predict what's going to happen. There's a risk involved in that, of opening ourselves up to it. But to live as a mystic in this modern world that we're in is to walk with our hands open and our hearts open, trusting that the presence is going to guide us every step of the way, trusting that the answer is going to be available. What's that phrase? Leap and the net will appear. Walking out there where we don't know what's ahead, but taking that leap of faith and saying, okay, Spirit, I know you got this, so I'm just going to step out of the way and let you do this. This is not about escaping what's happening in our lives right now, but it's opening ourselves up to the possibilities that we can't imagine with our own limited consciousness. It's opening ourselves up to the things that we don't know and saying, all right, let's see what's going to happen here. It's that aligning ourselves with the understanding that the infinite, God, Spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call it, moves beneath the appearances, that it is always active and working for our highest and greatest good at all times through our experiences. It's faith, it's trust, it's allowing ourselves to move with that ease and grace that is our natural state of being if we let go of the things that are holding us back. And so how do we do that? One of the things we have to do is we have to stop controlling. Anybody else a recovering control freak? And begin to allow things to happen a little bit better in our lives. It's stop analyzing everything else and start listening for the possibilities that are available to us. Just open ourselves up to that. It's to stop forcing outcomes and welcoming revelations. To stop trying to force it to be the way that my human mind thinks it needs to be, and welcome the infinite possibilities that are available out there. One of my favorite sayings from Ernest Holmes talks a little bit about this. He says that principle is not bound by precedent. So principle is a word that he uses to talk about this divine law, the infinite, the God working through us. Principles are the truths that Spirit works through, the things that are always going to happen in here. The principle is not bound by precedent. In other words, that truth, that high and holy idea, is never going to be bound by anything that's happened before. I like to think of this as there's no power in precedent. There's no power in those things that have happened before in my life. So I've experienced hardship in my life. There's no power in it unless I give it to it. If I've gone through a relationship that's been difficult for me, there's no power in that relationship except what I give it. There's no spiritual truth behind it to perpetuate it and to make it be my next experience. But it's opening myself up to that greater possibility that's available when I rely on spiritual truth as opposed to what's happened before in my life. We are not controlled by what happened before in our lives. We're not controlled by that at all, only to the degree that our minds think we are. And so if we've experienced financial hardship, that doesn't mean that our next experience is going to be that way. We can learn from the things that we've experienced in our life and build upon them and allow them to be different for us the next time. When we think it has to be a certain way based on our experiences, we are limiting ourselves. We are limiting ourselves to what's available to us out there. When we decide how that life has to be and we set about trying to make it happen that way, we're not allowing space for spirit to work. And so a big part of this idea of living in the mystery is opening ourselves up to the things that we can't predict, the things that we can't control, the things that we don't know. And just seeing that what is out there is available to us is it's actually going to be wonderful, if we just open ourselves up to that. But the living in the mystery requires us to surrender our need to control, surrender our desires about what it should be and what it shouldn't be. One of the things that we often do is we'll do prayer, we'll do affirmations, and we will sit and we will outline every single thing possible. Okay, so I need a new car, all right? I don't need a new car, but let's just use that as an example. Okay, knowing me, my car has to be orange. It needs to be 4 doors. It needs to have air conditioning because I live in the desert. It needs to have a really good CD player or radio now. We don't even use CD players anymore. I want one of those navigation systems on there. It's got to have heated seats and steering wheel. I can go through a whole list, right? And I can name it all. And then I can go out and try to find that car and get frustrated. But if I turn that around, instead of trying to control exactly what I'm going to get, and I say, why do I need a new car? What's my reason behind it? What are those spiritual truths or principles back of me wanting to have a new car? Well, maybe one of them is, for me, freedom. If I have a new car, I feel comfortable getting in it and driving wherever I want to drive. So I have the freedom to go on a road trip, my favorite thing in the world. Well, not totally favorite, but I love road trips. I can get into my car at any time, on any day, and go and feel very comfortable, very safe, very secure. Maybe my car has gotten really kind of ratty looking, and I want to have something that's more beautiful so that I feel, glamorous when I'm in my car. I don't know, whatever the thing is. But if I go back to those spiritual truths and I start to do my work around, I want to feel freedom, then I'm going to have a greater experience buying a car than I am if I outline every single thing I want in it. Now, there's nothing wrong with having desires, but how much are we making those desires control our experience? How much do we restrict what is possible to us because I didn't think of that, and that doesn't feel like that's what I want. I want something different because I think I need to have something different in my life. We have to understand that we can open up to a greater possibility in our life if we surrender our own desires, our own need to control, our own preferences, and all that stuff. Living in the mystery is about surrender, but surrender is not what often people think about it. It's not passive resignation. It's not like we think of surrender, if you're in a war and you surrender, that means you've given it over to somebody else, you've been defeated. It's not about that, but it's about letting go of that need to control every single aspect of it. And when we loosen our grips on that, the past and the patterns that have shaped our sense of self, then we begin to understand that there is a greater possibility out there for us. We have to really work at this idea of surrender. It doesn't often come naturally to us to allow that to happen. But our founder, Ernest Holmes, says it this way. He says, allowing the divine creative power to act upon our thought is the way that we begin to surrender. We allow spirit to have a place to operate in our experience. We allow it to move through us. We open ourselves up to that higher and greater possibility. For me, with opening myself up to spirit, most often in the past has happened when I can't do anything else. When it's like, okay, I can't even think right now, so I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pray. I often wonder how much better life would be if I didn't have to wait till I got to that last step before I went through and opened myself up to spirit. You know, instead of having to fall down on my knees and say, okay, God, I give up here. I'm turning it over to you. I know you got this. If I could just open myself up more easily every day, I think that it would be a little different experience. And so as we begin to open ourselves up to the flow of spirit moving through us, it will act upon us in different ways. But it can only act upon what is flexible, what is spacious, what is available to it. Spirit needs a place to work in our lives. And so as we open ourselves up to it, it begins to have a different experience for us. And so this idea of letting go can become a really powerful spiritual practice. I love the songs that we sing here about letting go. They are purposely chosen because that's a reminder for me every day to let go of things, to not hold on to it, to not cling to things as we are so often want to do. And so letting go as a spiritual practice means letting go of those old stories that we told ourselves over and over and over again. I'm not good enough. My grandmother would sing a little chant, nobody wants me, nobody loves me, guess I'll go eat worms, something like that. I can't remember exactly. My grandmother was full of those things. But anyway, it's like, how often am I telling myself this stuff, It's letting go of the reaction that we have to things that kind of make us scared. It's letting go of that. It's like thinking, oh, well, this is unknown here, but let's go with it and see what happens here. It's letting go of that reaction so that we can allow a space for wisdom to rise within us. If we hook onto the reaction that we have of fear or the unknown, then we don't allow that space for wisdom to work. It's letting go of all of our preconceived certainty we have about how things are so that revelations can actually speak to us. Letting go of those ideas that this is how the world is. And let ourselves open up to something different. Michael Singer, who we've talked about a lot this month, teaches us that every moment offers us a choice. Every moment in our life we get a choice here. We can either contract, hold on, cling to it, or we can relax and open up. And I love this. He says your entire spiritual growth hinges on this single choice. Are we closing down when we're not sure about something? Are we closing down when we're afraid? Are we closing down to something we may have experienced before, but it looks like it and feels like it, and so I don't want it to be the same thing again? Or are we opening ourselves up to new possibilities? Your entire spiritual growth hinges on that choice. Do I cling or do I open up? We've used the quote all month long, 100% of spiritual growth is about letting go, from Reverend Michael Beckwith. And so this is that same idea. What are we holding on to in our lives? Are those things still serving us? There are things that we might hold on to that keep us safe, and sometimes that's an important part of it. But there are also times when we think we're keeping ourselves safe, but what we're keeping ourselves is stuck. And so how do we begin to differentiate between those two things? And that's, again, about going within and listening and seeing and actually asking ourselves, what's my motivation behind this? Why am I doing this? What is this for me? Is this a a trigger from some event in the past that I'm responding to now? Or is this, my gut feeling saying, yeah, you better not do that? There are differentiations there, and we just have to begin to discern what those are for ourselves. And every situation is unique. Every time we face with that idea of holding on or letting go, it's unique to us and has to be taken into our spiritual work to move through it. And so the mystics, however, people that actually get to that place of mystical consciousness, have learned to open up more and more and more. And as they begin to release those things that are holding us back again and again and again, releasing and letting go, it allows for a greater spaciousness inside for Spirit to work in our lives. And so this idea of living in the mystery, it invites us to listen more often, to listen, to see what's available to us, to listen to others around us, to listen to our own inner voice, to listen to that guidance from Spirit as it's moving itself into expression. Instead of trying to force it to be a certain way, open up and listen for what's available. It's about receiving more than analyzing. Like, okay. There's a really good power that's available to us when we open ourselves up to saying yes. Now, you could be like a recovering yes person like I am that said yes to everything and got themselves so overbooked with time. There's a limit to it, but opening ourselves up and checking in and seeing, okay, what's available here for me? What is this? What is calling for me? Is this something that's good for me? Is this something that is I'm afraid of it, so I'm going to push it away? Or is it something that's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing that today? It's all about discerning what that is for each and every one of us here. But it's, again, about trust, about faith, about checking in with our inner voice and hearing what's available. And aligning ourselves more than struggling. We often try to push things into our experience where if we relax into it, we allow it an easier path for it to move through us. So Holmes reminds us that we are constantly living in an unfolding universe, that it is constantly evolving, it's constantly making itself known to us. And so the mystery is being in that atmosphere of that unfolding and not clenching, not rejecting it, not pushing it away, but to actually be in that unknown and be okay with it. So mystic consciousness is not about escaping our human experiences. We've all had experiences in our lives. But it's about living from the center of spiritual truth. It's about constantly checking in again, constantly going within and saying, what is my spiritual truth here? And what is my reaction to this situation based on? Is it based on something that's happened in the past? Is it based on something I'm afraid that's going to happen in the future? Or is it based to me opening up to what's available to me as Spirit moves through me? All of those are different, and they can be different for you at any time during your life. But every time that we can begin to soften ourselves instead of holding on and clinging to it, when we begin to breathe more deeply instead of clenching, instead of feeling like we're contracting in our lives, when we observe things instead of reacting to them, we move from that limited self, from what we've only ever experienced, to an unbounded self that is open to the greater yet to be, whatever that infinite possibility is for us. This is the life of Spirit expressing as us. That's why we're here. We are here to give Spirit a place to operate in this world, in this plane of existence. Our first principle of Science of Mind, we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, self-existent cause. That one manifests itself in, through, and as all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of the living Spirit. That's why we're here. We are here to be that place where God operates in this world. We are here to allow Spirit to move through us in an unbridled and unlimited way. We are here to open ourselves up to that greater yet to be. And then when we do this, we begin to go from controlling events around us to communing with them, to being part of them, to being actively engaged in our lives. We go from striving and struggling to that act of surrender and allowing. We move from fear to curiosity. And we move from separation to unity, where we actually begin to experience the oneness of God. But this idea of living in the mystery requires that we begin to trust. We begin to do that spiritual practice that allows us to listen deeply, to trust our inner knowing, to know whether it's our highest and greatest good that's speaking to us, or was it the fear from something that's happened in the past. Begin to understand and discern what that is for each one of us. It is about trust that is rooted in the nature of reality itself. It's about trusting Spirit and knowing that the action and the activity of the divine is always for the highest and greatest good of all. Always for the highest and greatest good. This is grounded in principle. It's grounded in spiritual truth. It's grounded in that high idea of what spirit is and how it is moving into expression. Ernest Holmes declared that the universe is fundamentally good because it is an expression of a perfect cause. It is an expression of something that is already perfect, whole, and complete. Therefore, it has to be good. Trust in that. Goldsmith teaches us that the principle within us is the same presence that governs all life. So the principle that is operating within me is the same principle that is operating within each and every one of us. That principle is always for the highest and greatest good. I may not like how that principle is showing up in somebody else, but I need to trust it. To trust that the highest and greatest good is evolving in all the situations around us. And so we ask ourselves some questions here when we get to this place of living in the mystery. Instead of asking, why is this happening? Ask, what wants to unfold here? What do I need to know? What new doorway or new avenue is opening for me? And what is the presence revealing here as we go through this experience? When we begin to do that, we are never walking in darkness. We may not know what's available out there, what's possible out there, but we are walking with a guide, a light behind us that is showing itself forth and opening up the doorways. Again, leap and the net will appear. Take that first step. We can't see all the way to the end of the line, but we can see the next step in front of us. And so trust in that next step. The path is not always visible, but that very next step is available to us all the time. The mystics call this practicing the presence. There are many books that have been written around about practicing the presence. Joel Goldsmith has a book, Practicing the Presence. St. John of the Cross, Practicing the Presence. I think there's 3 or 4 others out there that are entitled Practicing the Presence. And it's about the spiritual practice of letting go, of trusting, of deep listening to that inner voice, that inner wisdom, about allowing it to show forth in our experience. And so when we practice the presence, we pause and we surrender. We open ourselves, we stop for a moment. Recently, I've been having this experience of wanting to pause between the excitement and the saying yes. I have a problem doing that. I get an excitement about an idea and I say yes to it right away. It's about pausing and saying, okay, is this for my highest and greatest good, or is it just feels like something I want to do? Recently, it involves 50 bowls. They're almost done. But when this uncertainty arises within us, when the doubt and the fear and the anxiety arises within us, stop, pause, listen to what story it is you're telling yourself. Release that story. There's no power in it. There's no power in that principle, in that precedent. There's nothing there to hold us back. Just because it happened before doesn't mean it needs to happen again. One of the ways we can do that is to actually begin to breathe, to open ourselves and allow that Spirit to flow through us as we breathe in and out, relaxing our bodies, allowing ourselves not to clench and tighten as we are wont to do when we're under stress. And let that moment be exactly what it is. Let that come up, look at it, see what it's about, and let it go. It's always about turning within and listening. Move from what's happening out here, all around us, where we are at the effect of what is happening, and go within where there's a calmness and a stillness that's available to us. Rest in that witness presence that we talk about, the witness consciousness that's within us. This is where that infinite invisible will speak to us. When we can get ourselves out of the turmoil. Think of a hurricane, where we're out here in the middle of the hurricane, everything's blowing us around. But if we can get to the eye of the storm, everything is calm. And so we go within and listen deeply. And then we welcome what happens. We welcome what's available to us. Without having to try to know what it is, open ourselves up to what's available. Instead of resisting the unknown, we can say to it, I am allowing what is unfolding right here for me. I am trusting what's wanting to emerge. I welcome the mystery. I open myself up to it. And I allow that to be my experience. Mystics are not people who never fear the unknown. They are not people that have never experienced challenges. They are people who have learned not to close themselves off to it and learn to open up, surrender, and trust a little bit more. They are not ones who never fear the unknown, but they are ones who refuse to close to it. This mystical consciousness can be cultivated as we practice it, as we open ourselves, as we go deeper and deeper within, listening for that voice of Spirit and allowing it to move through us into possibility. Don't think that if you're developing a mystical consciousness, then you will never be uncertain again. We don't reach some pivotal point where everything is good, hunky-dory, peachy keen. We constantly move through the experiences of this world around us. But as we learn not to close ourselves off to it, we open ourselves up to a greater yet to be, a greater possibility that we couldn't imagine. Mystic consciousness does not end certainty. It transfigures it into sacred possibility. And who doesn't want to experience more of that, right? All right, let's take this into prayer. I invite our practitioners to come and surround us. Our wonderful practitioners spend several years learning the spiritual principles, learning how to do these practices that we talk about. And I can guarantee you, without even asking any one of them, that the reason they did it was for themselves. We want to change our lives. We become practitioners because we know that's a path to it. It's a way of learning about spiritual principle, and it's a way of practicing it more deeply in our lives. And so I just invite you to take in a breath as we begin this most sacred of our spiritual practices, our affirmative prayer. And so right here, right now, I know that there is only one power, one presence, one creative love intelligence that has brought forth everything into existence. I know this one as wisdom, as grace, as truth. I know it is an unconditional love and a perfect peace that is operating in, through, and as all life. And I know that I am one with this creative intelligence. I know that through its own essence, its own energy, its own divine mind, it created me to give it a place to experience life in this amazing world we live in. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for each and every one of us, for we are all that perfect emanation of this creative love intelligence. And as so, we are endowed with all that it is, with that perfect peace, that unconditional love, that wisdom, that clarity, that truth that is at the very heart of who and what we are. And so knowing this truth, I speak my word right here and right now. I know that each one of us is a conduit for the influx of spirit to move through us into expression as us. I know that each of our lives is a manifestation of this incredible power, this incredible presence. I know that it is operating itself in, through, and as us. And I know that as we surrender and allow a space for spirit to operate, we see more and more evidence of it in our own lives. We see the love, the joy, that infinite possibility that's waiting to express itself through us right here and right now. Our lives unfold in wonderment and joy. For we are the place where God shows up. I'm so grateful to feel this. I'm so grateful to know it. I'm so grateful to see it expressing itself right here and right now in this beloved community and beyond. And so I release this word into the law, into that creative mind that always says yes, that knows no limits, that has no fear. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealing I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealing I am whole.
Thank you, practitioners. And so now we have an opportunity to support our community financially. We are a 501c3 religious nonprofit, and we receive most of our donations through most of our funding through your generous donations. I'll get it right one of these days. So we have several electronic ways that you can give, and we gratefully receive your cash and check donations here today. So if you would, put your hands over your heart. And repeat this blessing with me. This gift I give goes forth from me does amazing and miraculous things,
Does amazing and miraculous things.
and returns to me in kind,
Returns to me in kind.
pressed down and overflowing.
Pressed down and overflowing.
All right, we're singing Money
Money's
is Coming to Me. All
Yes,
right.
indeed. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Every time I open my heart to me, I receive all that I need, knowing that God heals my soul. I release and let it flow. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me.
There we go. All right, so we just bless everything that we received here today, knowing that we are entirely blessed by the consciousness represented by these wonderful gifts. And I know that this blessing goes out from us, does amazing things in our community and beyond. And so it is. Thank you. David.
Thank you. Justin on guitar.
There you go. When you feel that tightness, dance. Joe, I love the video. Thank you. All right, we have just a couple of announcements here. First off, our Mary Market's happening on December 14th. We are going to be having a community event here. The kids are providing hot dogs, chips, and sodas, and then the young adults are providing cookies and hot chocolate. So we're inviting you to stay and have lunch with us as a little fundraiser for our young adults and youth program. And then we are also going to have vendors who will have handmade things around the room to sell. I've already got 4 vendors signed up here, so we're excited about that. If you know anyone that makes handcrafted things that they would like to have an opportunity to sell them, have them go to our website, check it out. There's information on there and a link to sign up to be one of our vendors. And we're going to have a silent auction along with that, and just some wonderful time for us to come together in this holiday season as a community. So put that on your calendar. December 14th, it's a Sunday after service here. We will be having a wonderful time. This afternoon, we have our women's circle at 2:30 right here in the sanctuary, run by Judy Petit. What are you guys doing today, Judy? Grace, all right. Imagine that, talking about grace. Beautiful. So it's a wonderful experience for you to come back together. If you know any other women, even if they don't attend our church, and you'd like to invite them to come along, it's at 2:30 here in the sanctuary. And then following that, we have Rhythm, Sound, and Soul, which is a really unique experience of drumming, chanting, a little dancing, a little spoken word, just a wonderful experience to come together. It lasts about 2.5 hours. It's a wonderful organization that comes in here each month and does our Rhythm, Sound, and Soul. So it's a very unique experience, but one that you won't want to miss. And then, of course, on our every Tuesday morning, we have our Walking the Path group, which explores the Science of Mind principles and practices through our Science of Mind magazines, daily readings that they have in there. They start with that and see where the conversation takes them in the world. So it's a wonderful opportunity. It's done by a couple of our practitioners. 3 of our practitioners lead that circle. So wonderful experience. And then we have available prayer in our prayer room right outside this door. Debbie Little will be at the door there, guiding you in, an opportunity for you to submit some of these ideas for yourself. You're having a challenge in your life, go see one of the practitioners. They'll help you work through that a little bit in a prayer. And if you have something that's really good going on in your life and you want it to continue, go see a practitioner. They're really good at that too. So after service, right outside this door in our prayer room. We also have a prayer request box in the front foyer, little box there with the forms for you to fill out if you'd like to do a prayer request that way, or you can also do it on our website. And then since we have groups coming in here this afternoon, we need to have our chairs stacked. So if you're physically able to do that and willing, we would like some help stacking the chairs. And so they go on either side, but they don't touch the bookstore and they don't touch the stained glass. So we'll just try to get them over there. Good luck with that, yeah. Just wherever you got to put them to get them out of the way. All right, would you stand, please? And if you're so inclined, grab a hand. And if you would repeat after me, there is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is. Have a beautiful week, everyone.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All right, last time. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. 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 Have a beautiful week, everybody.